Doing some thinking about this God thing going on. And there are patterns within patterns, Manderbots, that you can see it all over the place, that we tend to repeat the same patterns over and over again. We think we're jumping out of the same old mistakes, but we always end up repeating the same damn problem, and we never recognize it. And this was in my face due to a lot of genetic history of abuse in my family tree as well as my ex-husband's family tree, and I'm having 4 kids. I'm kind of motivated to make sure that pattern never gets repeated. So I'm kind of looking at these patterns within patterns and seeing if, what can we learn from them? And I see this God, our Father, we have different interpretations of what this thing is all about. Now, God never shows up. He ain't showing up to save nobody. Never did, never will. It just won't happen. We've seen that pattern happening all the time. And so what is it that humanity has in common with God? God is a creator, created us, humanity. As a mother, I'm a creator. I am the God creator of my 4 children. Now, does God come and save humanity? No. So maybe as a parent, it's my job not to save my children. If I want advice from God, I can ask God and get an answer all the time. So it's more like from a parent's perspective that I can help guide my kids when they ask for it. When they're ready to get some advice, here I am. But it's probably a good idea as a mom to keep my mouth shut as often as possible. And love them unconditionally. I think God loves unconditionally. I think God is an all-knowing and knows that if you screw up, it's because you just didn't know any better. As a mom, I can see that my kids are repeating patterns because they just don't know any better, just like I didn't know any better. So how could I judge somebody else to be more perfect than I am? I think the only time that I can expect perfection is when I am perfect. And that ain't happening yet. So I'm not one to judge anybody other than maybe question, does that kind of look a little right? How's that feeling for you? Is it working for you? And I think that's probably what God does too, is he's constantly pointing out, how's it working for you? When you want something better, better will show up. When we want to save ourselves from ourselves, I think that God aspect in us will show up. God works through people, just like evil works through people. When we want God to show up, that's when we all decide to jump into our godness. And we can save ourselves. We have godlike powers. We are God's children. We have the same power as a God does. My children have the same power as their mother or their father. They just have to jump into what it is that they want that actually saves them. I don't know. Just some thoughts. Peace out.